Yeah, around nighttime will work. It's about 4 o'clock right now. Here, what was it? Last time she said she was asleep, it was 2 o'clock. You know, it seems like they go to bed about 11 to noon. Usually you won't get jack shit after that. Unless you're up moving around like this, and I guess you wake them up, usually is what happens, or you catch them foraging. The question that's been on my mind is, one, where the fuck is that cougar at? I mean, you know, I've been getting around pretty well. Especially, you know, around the time when I'd found his prints. I've never seen anything else of him. And, like, part of me wants to, you know, have a run-in with a cougar. Not the person kind, but, you know, the actual animal, of course. I figure having a run-in with the person kind might get my ass kicked at this point. While you're talking about grabbing my daughter's butt and time to fuck you up. This entire vacation, I've not hardly exercised at all. It's both good and bad. Getting a rest on one hand, but on the bad, you know, getting out of shape again. You ever seen my gun? I was just arranging it. That's it. That's what I carry. It is a Smith & Wesson 629 Classic. You can see on the barrel, it's not ported or anything. About a 5.5 inch barrel. That's the first gun I ever bought. I got it because of, you know, I don't have any of my guns for any practical use. I mean, this is the only one that serves any purpose to me in day-to-day life. And, you know, I've never had to use it, thankfully. I've only had to pull it once. And that was on that bear that, you know, kept coming towards me. Yeah, and it wasn't really even that threatening. I was just being sure. I wasn't going to shoot it. I was just going to scare it. But it did turn around and leave. Should be up here where that happened. But yeah, it's not hollow point, and it's not Full Metal Jacket. I forget what it's called. I've been wanting to get some Full Metal Jacket, just because that's got so much more punch out in environments like this. You can punch through the brush really well. Not that I'm planning on ever using it, but, you know, just because I'm going to have it, I might as well have it maxed out, ready to go. Yeah, I've got a 500 Magnum, which is 8 3/4 inch barrel. It's the largest factory produced revolver or handgun ever. Smells shit. Smells shit, and I don't see shit. That usually means there's shit watching me. And I'm not saying like booger shit. Bigfoots. It's real strong. You know, it's funny. I mean, I don't know if this has been your experience, but in my experience, it's how fast you change up here. Just as a person and just in general, what you want to get out of them. Because, you know, I always want to get something out of them. But used to, the big goal was, you know, to be walking like this and to have one just step out of the woods and just let me get a good look at him. Because I knew that that was the only way that I would ever get to see one the way that I wanted to see it. Which is, you know, face to face. Up close, real close. You know, I don't care if it's mad or anything like that, but you know, that was the goal for years. And then it just sort of changed. It's like I don't even care now. Like, you know, if one of them came up to me during while I was laying there during the daylight, you know, got that tarp over me, I won't look. And that's happened before. And I tried to just kind of, you know, not look at it. It's not because I don't want to. It's just because, you know, I don't want them to think that I'm just trying to constantly get that out of them. And, you know, the few times that I have seen one, it was real fleeting. And I know that they're fast enough and intuitive enough that if I was to try to get a jump on them like that, even out of the hammock, it would just be, you know, you'd be looking at its ass running away. That's the way it's been. That's the way it was with Mom. Very fast. Funny how they didn't have any problems doing that. When I was locked and loaded, 44 Magnum in my lap, ready to kill. You know, thinking that there would be bears because Dad had warned that, you know, bears could still get through their protection. And so I was real paranoid. Right around in here is where that cougar track was. It was either just back there, back behind where we just came from, or it's on up this direction. And of course it won't be there now, because, you know, that was months and months and months ago. But yeah, she had no problem coming up to me then. And, you know, risking life and limb. Because I definitely would have shot her. If, you know, or if I thought it was a bear or something, you know, maybe not a tannish collared thing, it definitely would have been shot. That was a really tense situation. He had no problem doing that. Oh, no problem. But when it comes now, to where there's no chance of me shooting them, you know, I'm naive enough now that I would just, you know, it could be a bear and I would just stick my arm out and just not even care. You know, I've gotten used to everything. I'm just kind of numb to the fear. But, yeah, it won't come near me. Don't want to have anything to do with it. Terrifying, ooh, spooky, scary. It's kind of funny. I guess as far as getting to see one goes, the big climax for all of this, the big climactic, epic ending would be if on January, when I'm done with work, and I'm not working anymore, and I have my money saved up, and my car is ready to come up here for the winter time, and, you know, all that, will they come and get me and just let me live with them for a little while. I'm sure by then I'd be able to hear them. But a lot of times when it comes down to telepathy, I've noticed you've got to be pretty much already trying to talk to them, and then you've got to be really close to one. That's how it's always been for me. Or seeing it. I've wondered a lot about the hair. You know, you were talking, I think either you or somebody else had mentioned, one of them telling somebody not to cut their hair because you'll lose your abilities, your psychic abilities. And I remember in the Law of One, when they were doing the channeling sessions, they referred to Carla's hair as antenna. And that's something that I've heard a few times since then, that there is sort of an electromagnetic phenomenon that goes on with your hair concerning that stuff that allows you to be more receptive. Of psychic phenomena, telepathy, things like that. But I've wondered if their hair, all that hair on them that they never cut, if that serves to help them. I mean, obviously it's not the reason that they're able to do all that they do. They're just born that way. But yeah, if you shaved all the hair off, they'd still be able to do it. Not that I want to try that, but but I wonder if it helps them to pick up on a lot of this stuff and to do a lot of what they do. So I've wondered if touching one, the hair specifically on it, would help to be able to make that connection and be able to hear them. Because I've tried hard on the meditating and it just doesn't work. I'm going to keep trying because I know that eventually it would break down. Those barriers, there's a bunch of barriers that I run into, but eventually they would break down. But so far, no luck. Ever since that thing zapped my brain and took it away from me, I used to be able to do it a little bit, a lot more than what I can now. But it's been a long road to recovery. And I guess a lot of that is really fear. It's fear of running into something like that again and, not being prepared. This zapped me good. You were talking about getting zapped by Rocky, I think is who it was. And that reminded me of that. It happened years ago. Back when I was out of Bigfoot and I was into the ET phenomena. And I was practicing and experimenting with a few things with that. That was actually when I got those crystals. They have the blue ball, which is cool. I'm glad that they have it. They're getting ready to have a lot more. That necklace is basically done. Just putting that out there. All the parts are there. Now I'm just waiting for the scarf and then I'll put it all together. I already know exactly how I'm going to put it together. How I'm going to make the hooks. What I'm making them out of, I already have that. And how I'm going to tie the crystals to the hooks. Because originally I was just going to, because what it is this beading wire. Really thick beading wire. This, we're talking millimeters thick. I mean, it's strong. It's a little bit malleable. But what I was going to do is I was going to feed that through the crystals, because they got these little holes in them, right? Just like any pendant does. Problem was, I realized, is those crystals are brittle. You know, it's like glass, basically. So if you feed that hard wire through it, and over time the wire, you know, of course it expands and it contracts with the weather. And then as she's walking with it, she's going to be running into stuff. You know, she's not that big. And that runs the risk of that wire bending, because it'll be sticking out a little bit. You know, they have to kind of do like that, and then it'll curl around into a hook. And it come around this end, and then that's the other end of the curl. And that's how it hooks. And then that hooks onto the actual necklace. That way she can take them off and put them on and stuff like that. But the issue was that that wire, if it bends, you know, say it's like that, it bends a little bit, it runs the risk of cracking that crystal. It'll just fall off, and you just won't be able to put it on the necklace. You'd have to take wire and, you know, make a wire frame for it, which looks really cool when you do that, but she'd have to, you know, be a lot of trouble. I might actually try to do that with some of them. I got 4 real big crystals, so it would kind of mix the look up a little bit. Yeah, I think I'll try that. It'll be pretty. But the idea right now is for using the holes on it, I'll have to use fishing wire and tweezers to tie the fishing wire in there, because that does not expand and contract with the weather, and obviously it doesn't bend and shatter things that are hard as glass. So, and it's strong. It's very strong. I'm already using it for those beads. That was how I found out that would be a problem. I was putting one of the beads through one of those wires, and the wire had a bend in it, and of course when I fed the bead down into it, it just shattered it, which sucks. But it was a learning experience, because those beads are glass. They're not nearly as hard as those crystals are. And I mean, you could just take them and crack them like that if you're not careful. But I got to figure out how I'm going to put those around the main necklace and still keep them safe. I've got an idea for that. The main necklace is done, obviously. All the parts were there. And, yeah. Just waiting on the scarf. And then, of course, once I get it done, I'll put it up and I'll look at it to make sure that it looks like it's got a bunch of stuff on it, because, you know, it's massive. I mean, this thing, if I put it around my neck, I'm about 5'11". It goes all the way down to my belly button. You know, it looks more like a hula hoop than it does a necklace, just because of the size of it. It turned out looking pretty good, even though it's got some, like, you know, manly ass hardware on it holding it together, which looks kind of stupid, but, you know, I couldn't avoid it. And it's over $200 now. I didn't want to, you know, just keep dropping money on it, but she said she liked the scarf, so I got it. I'm a sucker for stuff like that. It's raining on me. But hopefully she'll like it. I know she wants to see it, but I don't want to, like, turn in an unfinished product, you know. She had damn well better hug me for it. I will be extremely butthurt about that if she doesn't. I mean, we've worked on this since, It's been over a month. It seems like. It's been 3 weeks anyway. 3 or 4 weeks, yeah, about 4 weeks. About a month. Trying to get her to do stuff like that. Which she doesn't. She does. She touched my hand. That was, you know,